Archbishop Andreus is going to be one of the more fun and challenging fights that you're going to find in Lies of P as you progress through the game. He can be tough with a few of his mechanics, but per usual, with the perfect parries and the tips that I'm going to show you within this Lies of P boss guide, you're going to be able to take him out just fine. So like many boss fights in this game, there are two separate phases. The first phase, you're going to concentrate on the bug-like appearance of Archbishop Andreus, but in the second phase, he's going to throw a curveball at you, and then you're going to have to survive a few more things. But before you even enter the room, I want you to equip a few things to make sure this boss fight is as easy as humanly possible. In one of your slots, I want you to put thermite grenades. You can get them from the merchant and the Malum district. And for your Legion arm, I also want you to equip the Flamberg arm, and this is going to allow you to do a lot of damage to him. Throwables in general are amazing, and this boss is very, very weak to fire, allowing you to get that ignite proc off really quickly, doing damage over time, and throwables do a lot of damage in general. You can also equip your Flame Grindstone to give you extra fire when it's needed, but after you have those three things, you're ready to start the fight. So this boss guide is going to have a Spectre involved in it, so if you don't want to use a Spectre, this boss guide is not for you, but I find the majority of the people actually enjoy using Spectres because it makes the game easier. So the first thing you want to do as you enter the room is you want to use your Flame Grindstone to immediately get that flame damage on your weapon. You are going to have to look out for a few different combinations in phase 1, so I'm going to show you what they are. First combo that you just saw is he's going to slam his arm down on the ground, and then right after that, he will sweep his arm across. These are both very easily telegraphed, and you can perfect parry them or dodge backwards and avoid them completely. When he's done that combination, he will leave himself open for a few attacks. The next move you're going to look out for is he'll raise both hands above his head, and then he will slam down on the ground while pushing forward. If this hits you, it's going to do a lot of damage, so all you need to do is dodge to the right or left, and he will miss you completely. This move is also easily telegraphed, and you can perfect parry it if you want. There are two more moves you need to look out for in phase 1, and the first of which is when he will turn red and do a fury attack where he raises up over you and then will smash down on the ground. The best strategy here is to run through his legs and get behind him diagonally so that he doesn't hit you directly behind or in front. And the last move he has you need to look out for in phase 1 is when he backs up and then he will spit his tongue out twice, and if this hits you, it's going to cause decay, making your weapon wear away and giving you a debuff. The two ways that I have found to avoid this move is to A, take a few steps back so the tongue misses you completely, or you can perfect parry it and it will not cause the decay. At this point, your Spectre should be taking control, and you just stand behind the boss and wail on him until you start staggering him and building up your fire damage. I would also save all of your thermites for phase 2 because phase 2 is the harder of the phases, and everything that you've seen so far in phase 1 is pretty much just a rinse and repeat until you stagger him into phase 2. So as phase 2 kicks off, you are going to have to deal with the one-winged Archangel version of this boss. My advice to you is to allow your Spectre to get aggro while you run onto the side of the boss and then start lighting him on fire to try to build up that ignite damage. This will typically allow the boss to flip around, causing you to fight the bug version of him again, at which point you're going to see many of the exact same moves that you fought in phase 1. At this point, you want to throw every single one of your thermites or any of your throwable items that you have. They're going to do a ton of damage, and you want to spend as little amount of time in phase 2 as you can. Another thing to note about the same moves that you're seeing from phase 1 in phase 2 is that now all of his moves, especially his swipe moves, have the acid buildup on them, so they are all going to build up decay unless they miss you or you perfect parry. Now the move you're about to see is really the only new move that he does in phase 2. He's going to charge up a massive laser beam and he's going to shoot it forward. So what you need to do is you don't need to run behind him, instead you need to run to the side of him, because after he shoots the massive laser, then the Archbishop is going to slam his staff on the ground behind him, and if that hits you, it will one-shot you. This should only happen one time in phase 2, so if you dodge it once, you don't have to worry about it anymore, but this is definitely a big move to take note of. So that right there is everything that the Archbishop does in phase 1 or phase 2. So if you're still having problems, leave some stuff down in the comments. I'll try to help you out if I can. I hope you guys enjoyed this boss guide. If you have not subscribed yet to the channel, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell notifications so you guys can know when I'm making more content. I appreciate you guys a ton. We are almost at 20,000 subscribers in the year 2023, which is crazy. So if you're enjoying the content, I look forward to seeing you around some more, and until next time, stay safe, enjoy the game, and I'll see you in the next one.